Donald Trump has won again. He will be the 47th president in U.S. history. We are tracking all of the developments south of the border this morning after Trump's decisive presidential win overnight. Now, stocks that are expected to perform well under a second Trump term are already seeing a surge today in early trading. BNN Bloomberg's Paul Bagnell is joining us now with analysis. So, Paul, what are you seeing?
There is all kinds of reaction out there, Marcia. Good to see you from the news of last night. The futures markets in the United States, these are contracts that trade for investors. They provide a reflection, indication of where stock markets are likely to go at the open. And the open of regular market trading is only about 15 minutes away now. They are strongly higher, so we are almost certainly going to see U.S. stock markets as measured by the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ Composite Index surge higher by 2 to 3% at the open, I would expect. And one big reason for this is that Trump has promised to cut taxes. He has promised to cut regulation on big U.S. corporations. That's the kind of news that, or kind of expectations that stock markets tend to applaud and to move higher on. So that's happening. Some big moves, for instance, in the U.S. bank stocks like J.P. Morgan Chase, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America. These stocks are up in pre-market trading. We would expect this to carry through to regular market trading. They're up by about 7% apiece. Those are huge moves in large cap stocks. The price of Bitcoin has surged to a record high of about $74,000 US per coin. Trump has made several statements through the campaign indicating a favorable disposition towards cryptocurrencies. And of course, one of his most prominent backers is Elon Musk, who's a big fan of crypto himself and even initiated a coin called Dogecoin, which I understand is also up. There is some negative reaction as well. And it's interesting. One thing that Donald Trump has promised to do is raise tariffs on almost all products imported into the United States. Now, that raises the prospect of other countries, including Canada, doing the same, raising tariffs on their imports of U.S. goods. And all of that raises the possibility of trade wars or an increased likelihood of trade disputes around the world. And that raises the possibility of slower global economic growth. And so we're seeing the price of copper come down today by about 5%. Copper is an interesting commodity. It often serves as a bellwether of what investors believe is in store for the global economy. And it's down about 5% today. Other stocks that are down, almost anything associated with green energy. Those stocks are down. Kamala Harris had plans to boost that sector, to enhance the prospects for companies in that sector. Those stocks are all down sharply today because Trump obviously does not feel the same way.
Paul, just quickly before you go, what about the dollar? We've been watching the Canadian dollar tick downwards. Has the U.S. dollar strengthened? Is that bad news for our loonie?
Yes and yes. If you consider a lower Canadian dollar bad news, then the answer is yes. There are pluses and minuses to any level in the currency. When our currency is low, it's less expensive for Canadians to buy American products, and that includes Canadian companies that are buying important Canadian products from buying important products from the U.S. as key business inputs. The benefit of a stronger dollar is that we have better purchasing power abroad. But yes, the decline in the loonie we're seeing today it's now below 72 cents US again. That's its lowest level since May of 2020. That is a reflection of the increase in the value of the US dollar, which is also a Trump effect.
BNN Bloomberg's Paul Bagnell. Paul, thank you so much. And